Yeah, Obeng Manu, Mencha, and I pay Menu AD and come. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Simon.
Now, in Pomoko, dear.
I don't know my way.
Yeah, I see. We can nick you.
Oh, so.
Ah,
I can't pass it there with the say. But to be honest, I mean, who be at you?
Yeah, at
Musa from how much Friday now, how much?
Friday now, Saturday.
Baby, see, we say, I had to send a when you're running stomach, you know, every moment. But I mean,
but it's not if you.
Oh, of course.
Yakwana says, say. Yakwana says,
who say a bassy now, Dr. Bamia can say be ahead of 2016 elections. Say, I say, your friend say, fundamentals in the week here, exchange rate in base exposure. And indeed, it's a testimony that we are all experiencing the state of engineering in Ghana. But sometimes, when I'm abonte na same ohwe kwan bi a ebia yaye kwan most of the inner roads e wa Accra say kwan a ye before 2016 election kwan a ye 2017 2018 na bebre na eso atutu to be say won say sebi won ma ye de adwuma na share won nsa no say engineers no mo ye adwuma no say eyo musika and convey say adwuma na mayana ena almost so a eyo mo asede so mbehwe say yenya sebi sika so mfaso no Ghana Highway Authority any rules and highways ministry no say ko musika sebi nka kan no mo de maye no ena mo de maye na anyway you be can charity for any ahwefo nyina na ekoso aka say nyina yenhwe ya na montu yi na esan se sorti wo ahoden a ena betimi akọ na wabusu yenya biadi ntintutu ya be ma yenyina yenya ahoden na ya ahoden awie peye no ye santutu ye no
yo last week and deadline I had my your SIM cards say by that time I see register your SIM cards na your Jeffrey and SIM deadline at him. Media may register media in SIM card na yejuma. But me nim say one moment me register and almost SIM cards na yejuma na say yejuma because minister now at the time okachire yen say even the extension to a year 30th of September no kwampo no na ya dia one place to say impo extended or jino ho anji
fever
fever na no ye and intino no bia I say 30th no dey buy na no you be from him but maintain some amount for a complaint say you mo from him and not tell me say one month me amount for from him SIM card registration exercise and a hon sense yeah
say same ya betra ha ka sa same we are ka until sometimes e babie na ye kakra to say na ye ne bibia a ebedi hu sa anamo na yahwe but ja isan say e fani pa ho na e fani pa mpuntu ho na e fani pa anamontu ni bibia ho ntino untimi enjai ka but ade ba ko a share of all the issues affecting that delay na ni nyina no same ya ade ba ko ni padodo na nkasa ka say omone Ghana card. And we have been told that Ghana card, and indeed not just we have been told, Ghana card is the main source document for this whole exercise.
Yeah.
And tinipa no enya Ghana card. So where do we place such a person? Ghana card they be more say in fact oko NIA office I war golf house share hona. I said your friend say nipa ko bodom pemo of course I mean so beka say a sefata say you go through this your friend say because government 2018 also gave an opportunity for mass registration as said you now untu aka prekura ibun ka so no money adaji abra ban den hihye aba se ko na koye no so ne adaji abetimi akwa akoye wentimi ankwa ankoye. Now this is the situation nipa bebre na sa me omo ne Ghana card And because of one Ghana card, a main issue, affect your friend is saying, them to be able to register their SIM card. Me catch a friend say for NIA for any Ministry of Communication. I mean, this has always been the main issue. So the two institutions must work together. The two institutions must work together to see how on betimi two and more na sebi your friend say same registration no atimi akwa awie pay dia mo bia. It sounds enyefe and it comes back to the same issue that we've been talking about over and over. Ghana has say your cards endorse on the door. Or Ghana card, or driving licenses, or your friends a SNAIT card, a SNAIT ID card, or health insurance, or passport. Endorse. So there should be a system. Say card back should be able to deal with everything. Because if it's all about Samir Shen, that's a Samir Shen born a SNAIT number. He doesn't need a SNAIT. I say one card should be able to deal with it. And you know the call SNAIT, maybe I could be so the card, we insert into whatever machine it is. That card should be able to give you everything about Samir Shen. In serious countries, cards and not to say.
But is that not where we are working towards here, Bedra?
But that's what we are working towards.
Yes.
So and can say at this time, probably there should have been some form of communication to us. Say Abia, say Ghana card is all in all.
Oh, but that communication is
until so here I'm making a point. So here driving license, you take your Ghana card there, your information, everything is taken. So that the policeman doesn't need to stop you to ask you of your driving license. Once you have a Ghana card, that should be able to take care of it. But I say what driving license, national health insurance card there's a SNAIT card I say a Dawson, and I say a yard Dawson. There should be an end somewhere. Now, but to say once everybody is being made to say only register the same. So far, like you said, did my a time neutrum didn't I say a banner as compared to the previous didn't I buy when before the minister's favor came so I want to assume say Ebiana they have decided say look no baby or money those who can let them do it those who cannot, and I know there's also a case pending in court over the same issue. But the bottom line is that if you want to have, because only do na kasa some of can say person can register the same card but on a Ghana card, so he needs to have the Ghana card to be able to do the registration. So what special measures are we putting in place to make sure say deficit na akano we're able to deal with it? Is NIA in a position to give almost about 2 to 3 million Ghana cards within this period to allow people to go and register? So these are the challenges, and I hope the parties involved or the stakeholders must come together. They must think together and have a solution to it without us, the customers or the public, suffering for that.
The point that is usually made is it is the urgency for the need for the card.
Which one?
The SIM registration process, the urgency for that exercise to be done. That is how come we've been seeing deadlines are being put, because I spoke to Deputy Minister of Information last week Friday, and she made the point, said, yes, indeed, it is not an event, but it is just that it is a process with some urgency attached to it, and so the requirement for a deadline is not but is it that urgent for us to be having these deadlines?
Honestly, I can't see the urgency of it. I can't see the urgency. But again, also, utu anamoa odi eshishe on mine. So there must be an end somewhere.
Yeah.
But me feel say anka probably what we can do is say don't make it compulsory. First and foremost.
Don't make it compulsory.
Yes, but you create an environment where nipa nankasa no to say bia your friend is saying, why in such a way say a bedroom baby no, you can't make WhatsApp calls or you can't receive WhatsApp, and then you'll be demanded to do create a difficult situation for the person. Now on one case, initiate some action to have it sorted out. It was Friday morning, Thursday was a Friday. I think so. I think Friday. Me sorry, I'm not part. But Thursday night around 10 p.m. I was not receiving calls. Sorry, I was not making calls. And I mean to me, making calls. Yeah. And I mean me WhatsApp and everything. Yeah, now. And I was but because me register me just long ago. At that time, yeah, a boy we say I'm afraid to go for because me a Tigo man. Yeah. And to me afraid because what is happening? Of course, me nipa want me and any reasonable explanation there. But I'll see your boss. I'll call you back. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3. Until within 30 minutes, everything was restored. I was making calls, receiving my WhatsApp messages and everything. But the point is that you bet me create a situation. They say, like I say, I say now own register or SIM card. You cannot do it. Oh, I don't know. They say your friend say, to call baby COVID vaccination and your compulsory. But through airport now the COVID only a COVID test and I saw your COVID vaccination. There's no way they will allow you to pass through. Nti hono enyo obi na beka se koye ye mfa sika ma megina so and say mfa tuo ye mfa bibia nka say your friend say assume say na so bentin go and do your COVID vaccination or go and do your COVID test. No. But it's a requirement at the airport. Say before you can embark on any or you can your friends obetime to kwan akoba bia no. Either so why COVID vaccination and now say why a COVID test. Without that, Sammy, you won't be allowed to check in. No matter who you are, of course, you're Ghana. Even though yes, you can bypass the system in Ghana, assuming that you are a big man. But who do destination now all science and which you'll be required. Yeah. So these are the issues that we need to look at. And then because the way I econo, I'm out for a comfort and it's a on a Ghana card. And maybe a true no fault of his or hers, you know, on a Ghana card ampa. So what do we do to get those who need Ghana card to be able to, your friends say, go and register? So these are the things that we need to look at. Of course, it's not an urgent matter, but there must be an end somewhere at the point to do.
Andy, good morning.
Good morning.
I know what to say.
So nobody
Weekend Nico ye.
So you can't complain. So only weekend any problems. I mean from ECG to the floods and so forth. But Nyamia here so. Anti Asidana at the Manu. Of course I was monitoring your discussions on the ECG matters. And I say many of your workers are good morning. All Casano. I say system failure. From ECG, I'm linking it to Sani SIM card and some The ECG and some now will say,
say a basso.
Say, yeah.
Oh, now say, yeah, one topic after the other.
Because, and then I'm in
maybe honestly, why a benevolent dictator, but let ambush him. Let box the SIM card and the ECG matters. ECG matters, you know.
It's appropriate. Because then you know, I didn't want to
box. I know how we can say, Ranty and Yamayo or Yebi. But you say, I would have Kusa. What do you mean?
Because we met you in Ghana. Met you in Ghana. Maybe so be a vacancy meaning. Met you in Ghana.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I said, I'm more
because I remember so people who are about Yagas and Mitikono, means okay,
that is the effect of. Oh, okay. I honestly don't envy
them. SIM card registration, right?
That be also more ECG.
And your ECG SIM card.
System failure.
No
problem. It's SIM re-registration now. Omoyana registration now. Omoyano. Let me say. Duduana is on your Ghana card, right? Ghana card is so NIA about with their challenges. I'll be the last person to say to kick against timelines or person rolling out a policy. Timelines soon here, but through no fault of the citizenry, as I said, sometimes we hasten slowly. Because when we say deadline be by some time ago into microphobia court no. Ghana card into microphone me call. Ye mama mrewa 40 me call. The whole day. Omunya. And the CEO of the National Insurance Identification Authority, Ababeka, omo challenges. So, if the primary requirement for you to register your SIM, untimi access to it, your timeline is bogus. With the duest of respect, it's unnecessary. Why do you give the timeline? Why do you even threaten people? Say, want me and register? You block your SIM or you cannot make calls. No, because the document, the primary document, meaning, and this same Ghana card is also having a toll on this EC and continuous registration on mobile. That is why some people have argued, said, listen, if you are saying that the Ghana card is what you use as the sole document for identification for the continuous registration exercise now, people are not getting access to it. So the primary concern now should be how the NIA will be able to fast track and process for document so that Ombenya Ghana card. Without a Ghana card, why do you give timelines? So the NIA, between the NIA, NCA, the communication ministry, are they talking to each other? I think that these are institutions that must be talking to each other in all this policy. So at every point in time, Ministry of Communication, NCA, NIA, this is our concern. Until Muntrain timeline here at the assembly so that they know what they are doing. So it is important we register this thing because I mean, between myself and you, sometimes we may receive calls, these scammers and blah blah blah. So let's register it.
Has it stopped? It hasn't stopped.
It won't stop, but you see,
last week I received two.
As I said, you started from baby. Now gradually, I think that the system will take care of itself.
May I interrupt you for a second, Pacho? Even with my SIM card registered, I'm still receiving calls from the scammers. I'm now receiving, funny enough, it is now that I'm receiving text messages from strange organizations who had previously not sent me any message before.
But that doesn't, I mean, the registration of your SIM does not mean these things will stop. The point really is that with every card registered, now, you cannot run away with any evil committed with a SIM. Because if you call Same, it will be easy for Same or for the telcos to trace what you're saying. Because now it is attached to you. Won't even call Kwaji because you say, I'm a Kwaji and the card, I'm a SIM, I'm the Kodin saying, who baby. And as a person should be able to tell. Say, once they get to know, then they will be able to identify him and then get to know how, through interrogation and all those processes, I'm sure Andy will be able to give us certain information in respect of how the card got to the person and all those. So the processes or the exercise in itself is never a bad exercise. And I'm sure
that one there.
No one, yes, we are not contesting the exercise and its importance or significance to the development of the nation. No. Yeah, come to conclusion, they say, like Andy rightly said, you say you hear Ghana card. So at the time of the decision, your friends say communication ministry, NCA, and the National Identification Authority, what was that member stakeholder engagement between them to let us know, say, this is the number of Ghana card that we have. And at that time, no, how many people had SIM cards? And to compare that, the number of people who have SIM cards as against the number of Ghana cards that has been issued. So if you are going to do a registration and say ABI, your friend says, start time away and exercise and the natural question will be, is NCA in a position to issue that cards enough for people to be able to register? These are some of the main contemplations in all the discussion around the Ghana the SIM registration, and indeed, unfortunately, Communication Ministry, NCA, and NIA have not been able to address that concern. Because I'm willing to, and indeed, if you went to NIA office right now, when you do a more register, and for that, when the first end point came, who call Airwork, maybe our Kasa or one of the network Joy FM Joy News. Was it most member has say, maybe Hanopa, a bobon and I must see appointment, my boss I bear 3 days in it. So what do I do? So these are the concerns. It is never a bad exercise. I mean, we are all in favor of the project to make sure you amount for omode SIM card will be there to it in accordance with the law. But the point is that the source document for the registration to be effected ought to be dealt with.
Andy, back to you.
So the exercise in itself is not a bad one. It's good, but I say like Yaokaya, these three outfits must be talking to each other so as to resolve the issues. Because in the first place, this intransigence on the part of some people say, yebetrim, and it is act of magnanimity, and that is why timeline I'm by a crime is extending. Masa, it's a privilege for you to save the people of this country, like you rightly said. Me am president Amedi. Yes, me president Amedi. I'm overly qualified.
Yeah.
But you know, minister, mayor president. So when you have the opportunity, our man serve the people. Sometimes you listen to suggestions and views from other people. I think that has resulted in Crawford and Omoko Court. Say no. This since some almost one register but we say calling us for. In the first place, though you are the supervisory ministry, I have a social contract with the telco. Whatever network, me was social contract. So yes, in the first place, Okoto SIM some register.
Yeah.
They have your details. And so I think say cool has to prevail now. Yenya sub primary the source document for that registration. The Ghana card.
Yeah.
Na microphone fund and and so as for the timelines, yes, but under this circumstance, and you will be at fault. Are you going to punish the citizens for a crime they've not committed? No fault of theirs. You want to cut their SIM or block their lines? No. That one, I'm very happy people are in court to test the law. Sabeya will settle issues. So, Sami, the SIM card registration is important, but the ministry, NIA, and NCA must have some, if they haven't done any of such engagement, they should engage each other. And in fact, the telcos must also be involved. And I know that now that we have an umbrella group of the telco, the telecom chamber, now they will resolve this in amicably. But that intransigence, no, you can't do that.
You can't govern a nation based on feelings.
No, you can't do that.
Governance is not about feelings.
You will not be the first. You are not the first, and you will be the last. Position you won't be the first, and you won't be the last. So take your time. Ghana for Nipan. You need them. They need you. as their minister. To be near and to was say Sebeya Edi between.
Well, yeah, catch it. Andy Mama say the same tone now what they make in initial submissions on ECG. No, I'm expecting to see the same tone and energy in the second submission. ECG, Yonko.
No, so I mean ECG, they don't say why when it comes to IT, I respect you. Until I now conversation now pushy. Or my resolve it, Fati, can't say or my resolve it, also my reasons. Near see. I think that I listened to the PRO, our camp, said they are doing some system auditing. And after that, need some internal investigation. They will update the public. And you were also honest to have said and commended them, said they were forthcoming with information and updates on the situation. Just that I am saying near Makakrabi a creative panic, and now that you got alarmed was the issue of whether or not the system was hacked into or something like that. And if I'm right, I think say honorable member for Ningo Pram and also on the timeline say
Cabal
be hack the system. You see, in as much as I've heard some people not taking it easy on him, no. I would say maybe I want to, as a member of parliament and serving on some committees, no, it's privileged to some information. And if information we want to disposal, and yet media message, and yet a biana or the public domain, as if say you always want to bring the information out. Some of these issues are very sensitive because the moment you ask a question, say what it is a cabal be into system no or hack into it creates a security problem for the system. Because someone who discuss it during your discussions, more can say almost siphon Sikabinin as for how was it detected? So Haman almost siphon here. All this investigation, I think, say Ghana for as I say.
But why should you know? Why should you be told?
Oh no, Sammy. You see, during your discussion, you even made mention of the blocking the seepages and leakages in the revenue mobilization. And you know, ECG has been an institution. When you pick the Auditor General's report every year, they are captured in there where they even make procurement of meters. And the explanation was that the meters were not what fit purpose. I can say a politician can be given a contract without any way say we are calling imported meters about. Now the calibration thing that you were talking about, not the problem about. So that is why we need to be concerned regarding near AC or ECG. For me, what happened during the weekend now, microphone to me top power was very serious. Security issues. Just the visibility of the police. I think that it was apt that areas no they were sleeping in darkness in Asifo. People would just take advantage of it and decide to engage in those their criminal activities. But thank God, say the police were on red alert. But ECG, yes, sabotage. This is not the first issue. ECG when they want to sabotage. I recall say when qualifying series viewer was commercial sponsor. One guy.
I say me na go pa be.
One guy. Say light no more bubble na light no off. Then the communication director to the presidency, Mr. Gogwa, Ebeka said, no, Oma picking intel, and that they will investigate. Until more investigating now, those found culpable no heads will roll. One pamo be out. Thank God say after years, in Crawford, no did do as if sir, or pamo ECG boss no Kumasi no. It came out finally. That's the truth. It's like cock. No matter how you suppress it, it will pop up. Ah, can say when yes or no can. Sabotage there, yes. I bet you have them.
So your point of departure from my submission here.
Your point of departure, and it's a chin. As someone may explain it, what really happened, which for me is in line, right? But I think that the most pressing issue now is for them to have the system in place.
But that point I made.
Yes. But what point is why, how into your move hacking Twitter, then means it brings security issues in us. The security issues they won't tell you now.
But remember a typical example. Time almost Tommy Donald Trump in fear Mar-a-Lago here. One more edit quarter that acquire one more call Boru and fear me. Did you see what happened in the US press, within the US press?
Oh yes.
The demand for that court order.
Yes.
One more they call a year in the fee.
Yes.
That again, they demanded for certain. What would it do?
See, Sammy,
see what is inside.
When you're talking about demand, you need to know what really happened. And I make catch you say, perhaps I no, you've not availed your mind to that. And now one PRO.
Saying,
say they are investigating using their own internal mechanism. They are doing system auditing, and so appropriately they will keep Ghanaians informed. I think that is enough because, I mean, as we speak at the moment, all that people need is power. And some of your callers, testers, on the test message, even Kumasi, still they are finding it difficult to buy power. So I mean, let's encourage the ECG to resolve the issue properly so that people to get the power. Then we can move to the second phase of it. Definitely, we need some explanation what really went wrong. Because you see, to plan the whole country in such a state, and confronting top power, it's a huge problem. And I'm looking at it, the gravity of it is simple. It's about revenue. Between this period, Anchor for Ekutesika Mokwakoto power now manual, the revenue lost to the state. And ECG has not been helpful at all. We're talking about meter, chin meter. Meter. Sammy, to be honest with you, many of Bob cry we say, one here, because me slow power. Electricity are kicking me down to careful power. So they are the ones who have been doing that. We know what they have been doing. So yes, we need ECG there. I say that is why, for me, to some extent, I support this prepaid meter now on Moyese in order to block the loopholes, the seepages, the leakages. Obia regulated the meter power will use. If it is 200 that you buy for a month, yes, those postpaid where people will use power, they won't pay, and these same ECG workers will go with the people, have negotiation with them, with the Pebibima Menamenko. We know what they have been doing. So, Sammy, it's important that institutions must be up and doing. And on this note, I think regarding what happened in the system failure and confronting top power, like you said, let's also commend how they were forthcoming on a bit-by-bit basis to inform Ghanaians and finally to get the issue resolved to some extent, because it's been partly resolved because of Meso checks Kakrabi Amaye, Kumasi Takradi are still in Crawford intimate top power. And this must be done so that Ghanaians will live in an atmosphere of peace and security. We need to know, but Sammy, what I'm saying is at the moment, our concern should be how to resolve the problem, and then we move to the second phase. if people are more investigation, but they say Nkrophobia were behind that, they must be punished within the remit of the law. Now, you were communicating, making the point, but your emphasis was on you need to know now. Yes, you will know, but let's help others because you have been able to buy the power. But let's help others. Or you are using postpaid.
I use prepaid.
So, Sami, you are fortunate. So let's also help our brothers and sisters, others to also be on the same wavelength with us. And we investigate the ECG in some or also.
Yeah. I mean, who said what shall go, sir? What foul phone now? Oh, that.
Oh, how?
And the pen who said what shall go, sir? What few near all your phone, so all your notes. Me who be that? I may be at our church.
Oh, not just a person we intimate here. I was at the end of the can in our career. But of course, 2 or 3 quick points, and then probably we'll move to IMF.
Yeah.
If you so desire.
Yeah.
A friend is saying, it's important, say, Ghana for be who near course. The NT and a buy. ECG as an institution doesn't lose anything by telling us the truth. And it's a good customer, your friends, relationship to keep your customers or your client informed of any development. And this is a major issue. ECG cannot, and indeed, I mean, any public institution or any organization cannot take their client for granted. And you know, ECG needs to explain to us, and moreover, a national security institution as well. So, and that we are waiting for them to give us an update of really what happened and what steps they are taking to avert a future occurrence. That is 1. 2. Sam George raised some important issues. First and foremost, he made a specific allegation or claim that there should be a forensic investigation at the IT department of ECG. That should be done. That should be done because these are pure IT issues that resulted in what happened. Assuming say a C, you know, a hospital facility be or money a friend say generator Emma man for detected doom soa.
Yeah.
A brave C, you know, say now will be a core surgery, and I say if the surgery being performed at that time now, obviously, say any panel free ma na medon.
Yeah.
So these things needs to be investigated. And sebi in the course of this, obi mushroom there's no way or more mushroom ubetimi dia back with no matter the explanation that you will offer. So people need to be told the truth, and then if it was deliberate, then those responsible should be dealt with in accordance with the law. Situation of mine, I say one of the problems we have had as a nation over the years, you know, and your friend, send a first way you my say, and the idea is na as a channel sono, no be a patcho. Will be running through the red light or traffic. As a channel sono, no will be a through be a patcho. Will be driver license, will be insurance, where's a channel sono, no be a patcho. So I think we need to come to an end. Because if we're really going to make progress as a nation, we should govern with seriousness.
Yeah.
And governance is always about decision. And if you are not willing to make decision, then you don't need to offer yourself to lead. And wherever you find yourself, it's a decision-making body that you find yourself. So decisions needs to be made, and that decision should, in the end, result in the benefit of the whole your friends say or minor. So Sam George claimed that there should be an forensic investigation at the IT department. He was specific.
Yeah.
That is 1. 2. Sam George was also specific in saying, 200 million Ghana cedis. That's about $20 million now, because of the state of the dollar.
Yeah.
That's about $20 million every month going into pocket. I hope, and I repeat, I hope that Sam George will not be Muntaka. That he makes such claims and allegations, and then when it is time for him to provide evidence, no about the patch or say, oh, I am sorry. We don't want that. He's a member of parliament with a certain degree of respectability within a certain rank of our society. And sir, allegation we are making, we are all looking forward to see how he will go with it. Well, you cannot just come and say 200 million Ghana cedis every month going into private pocket. Wow, 200 million, it's $20 million.
Yeah.
So that should be looked into. And then also, some judge is also claiming, it's all these things are part of orchestrated plot to undermine your friends, the new MD. Whatever it is, of course, maybe he's an outsider, so naturally people within the system will not like him. It is natural that maybe you are competing with others for the same position, and you got to, so for effort being taken to undermine him, it exists in almost every institution. So that I won't go there much. But the point is that the new MD should be decisive, firm, and a leader. Now, on say near no credano or the no crebeto, the IT department needs to be investigated as suggested by Sam George. The 200 million being taken away every month by a cabal, it should be looked into. We need to know. We need to know how and why. Because ECG, we all know the problems and the issues they keep talking about. Hey, your friends say not being able to meet their revenue target, and that there are shortfalls in their revenue, and that's why they keep going to PURC, say, a 300% opportunity, 300% increase in tariffs and all those kind of things. And if 200 million Ghana cedis is going to pocket every month for no work done, then that's a serious matter. And we expect Sam George to cooperate with any form of investigative body that will be set up to look into this matter. And then we see how things will go. So for me, it's unfortunate it happened that way. But a man for a lucid yama bebre, or more, said you, on one a bre, and our quack tone the bench and the board, you know, the ababeshi frigim. Neja, why Adriana Cra, and I said, Wakwa Bontia Quacotona, and many beard, any Adriani beardy. So, near course, it is something that nobody is happy with. And government must be firm and decisive on this. Because these are the reasons why people will say, we are buying, oh, yeah, Juma, and I say, oh, yeah, Juma. Adia, because, look, yes, Andy is my friend, but what he's supposed to do, he must do. Or yeah, the wrong thing, let deal with him. He's your friend. You can appoint your brother, your sister. No, for me, I don't care who you appoint. The most important thing is the person is being held accountable for what he's supposed to do. Because look, when President Kufuor appointed Ado Kufuor as his brother, at a point, a lot of Ghanaians were happy with the performance of Dr. Ado Kufuor as a Minister of Defense. Yeah, so it is not about who you appoint. It's about the competence and the commitment of the person to deliver. So I mean, say be anana go for ado afa na busuafo nyina so omumu o man no na ye cedi no ejina e bia ukra 2 Ghana cedis enya $1 aka who complain about what is happening. Nobody will complain. So let decisions be made. Let us achieve results with the decisions that we make. And yes, I actually then ye hu ne yeko emwobia please.
Well, ye din komo ya no. Now, your man for say, your final conversation would focus on IMF. Any assurances that the government is giving us, and commodity the issue about debt restructuring, and some a lot of people are talking about. Nina, normal and some ever broman for in the next conversations you call for your second break na bar. We are gathering say yenua eko blankson nyame atonensa e dia freno na we are still working our sources say yede ehun ensem be broman for, but that's the information we are getting now. Until you get details every month for ya Sami Frimpong wotie nkomodi na yedi no na he's expressed some few comments or say the threat to block unregistered SIM cards is mindless and illegal and the government could be sued for it. Let's stop discussing it because it won't happen. How can we suffer for an institution's failure? Sami Enediwe Ede Abraham. Na ebiem wakasa say government needs e-levy. Bank of Ghana is threatening to blacklist quick pay defaulters. And on the back of it, the ministry is threatening to block SIMs. Who loses? Legitimate concern. And I will raise it and pay some Jimedi no esro. And Safina do feeding at 200 here. Yemwakwa about Jimedi. So you 3 minutes. Andy, yeah, I mean for 3 minutes, me find Shasi also.
10 minutes for the two of us or per head.
There be not to the end. Some will make you initial submissions. Near co breaking about nothing the atwaso.
Okay.
And now person co breaking a man after your banner atwaso.
Minimum to them, I mean, Shasi.
You're great.
Government, of course, I mean, it's not the first time as a nation. This is about the 17th time that Ghana as a nation is seeking IMF support or a bailout. And it tells you how things have been done as a country over the years. And it's sad. Say, yana muntu biya no. Iwiana eyana kwa kubiye IMF. Then am I call IMF? It means that you seek a seminye, you're spending, you're poor, unisika, and so udi broso. Unisika de obi domwa obia to say, I mean, let me use a typical cases is a quarters. If I use the word irrational, it's not an insult, right?
No, it's not an insult.
Okay, his unfortunate or irrational decision to suspend your friends say 2 operations. Wako US da. Or 2 kwaya kwa manone da. And a Ghana for do na mutual. In fact, last week I became stranded with JFK airport or home. About a shame a crowd say taxi na me fan call back to baby and I'm a one. Taxi driver no edge me $100.
Wow.
$100 and unim your car or so be try to unim to no be piano or be bridge so bridge near yeah no 100 almost 100 years ago. But we a car offers 100 times you pay. At the end of the month you do bill bebro. Sabi ono kro wo bi no or bond kakra no ho ban. Na wa wo ne bi. Inti no amwakwata decision say a free and cry ediko kumase no we a driver fa kwan so free, don't pay anything. Who kwa bria sa sika na bosan na ye ko boy no aye de yes sa kwan no amwakwata say fa sa kwan no so free entua hwe. So how do you get money to pay all this debt? And now we are engaging the IMF for debt your friends are restructuring, discussion over debt your friends sustainability analysis ongoing, a committee of 5 formed to look into all these things. Some of you look at the state of our economy, you look at the city. Beginning of the year, not city near saying, in fact, beginning of the year, so 100,000 Ghana cedis. Now, Ubenya almost about $17,000 to $20,000. And then, ukura 100,000 Ghana cedis and only $10,000. That is ukwa ukwa and 10,000. It tells you that things are bad and things are not going well. And you know, I was talking to somebody and the person made a point that if, and there's a point that got me thinking, I say if somebody is not benefiting from the depreciation of the cedi, then he doesn't know what is happening. Because in his view, somebody is benefiting, or some group of people are benefiting from the state of the, a friend said, the Ghanaian cedi. And do you know what he said? I said, look, he cited Dubai. I say, I say Ghana, Sami, Okwakotoba and Kua, what the dollar never that's all the cedi never. The cedi never. Ghana, ye this cedi said $80. Say this cities. So why are we allowing the dollar to dictate how things should be done? So the government of Ghana, and in this case, also Bank of Ghana, Minister of Finance, GRA. In fact, also Bank of Ghana and GRA. these are two critical institutions that must sit and think and ask themselves, Ghana has say, Yesikana Yedin Yesidi. So why should market forces in Ghana determine your friends say the cedi against the dollar?
But these are born out of international trade. Yeah. Because
it reminds me of some pie. Now, Komobia no be the other say. Obi say Nkrumah they know Ghana. No say Buzi they know from Afghanistan.
No, yeah. Say me a dealer. Me a dealer. Ewo. Enfan say AliExpress. Over so to safun we say. Me price amako to $20. To Obi F for papa.
Yes.
But because currency a no. Na holding is such a media no. And any boarding. And two but me nyama dwen say me ju cedi no.
If government of Ghana and Bank of Ghana and the Minister of Finance, say for us in Ghana, a cedi no, and as a dollar, if you want to buy a dollar, if Bank of Ghana comes up with a rate policy, say look, dollar one, we are not going to quote anything in dollars. That is one. Two, Ukra, your friend said dollar at this time, no, your friend said 1 cedi 20 pesos, and 10 cedis, and 5 cedis here. So, I mean, who are you going to complain to? Are you going to go to any bank, anywhere? Because, maybe, let me finish before you interrupt. They say, Andy, a businessman, or he had dollars, or what they find on anti-black market, where is the transaction? Where would he go in the end to have the transaction? It's not a bank. Any bank not quite any transaction. So if Bank of Ghana is saying, say, banks in Ghana, dollar rate, if anybody wants a dollar, this is how much we want the dollar, or this is how much the dollar should be sold to the banks. What would be, or a businessman no here dollar no? Wouldn't he be happy? Would he go to the black market?
No, he won't.
So what stops Bank of Ghana from coming out to that decision?
But we are not running a controlled environment economy.
Sammy.
We are not.
We are
running an economy where the forces of demand and supply determine prices of goods and services.
That is not being contested.
So at what point does government...
But the contest here, which we are not getting, and they say, maybe Sikani a cedi, so buy everything in cedi.
From where?
Buy everything
within your local economy.
Buy everything buy everything in cedi in Ghana. How come so called Dubai? $100, you don't buy anything in dollar, but you buy it in dirham. How come?
I say it's the same thing here.
Yes.
So this
point must be made clear. I think some time ago, government tried to regulate that, like the hotels, those in the hospitality industry, they should stop quoting the always say in rates in dollar. We see the kind of trade agreements now, war in the this kind of globalization where we become so network interdependence. I've also, with your example, said me to me phone $20, and many times though you are making a valid point, but because also they will give you the cedi equivalent of the dollar.
Oh. Exactly.
So it depends on.
But last week the pound was struggling. Yeah. Just last week.
Of course.
Yeah. The pound was struggling
against the dollar.
Yes.
Because the British market or the economy is struggling.
Yes.
Obviously, it has always been struggling. We all know that your friends say the US market is growing. The economy is growing, probably growing at a rate that people are wondering, in spite of what is happening, how come you guys are making progress? But let's not deviate. Let's come back home. Maybe they say, Bank of Ghana has a cedi no, open $1, and I say ukra 7 Ghana cedis, $1. If you say that it will have an effect on what you are going to buy outside, how? Explain that to me. How?
Yo, mami checho. Yo, man, we muna present for a pencil. Yeah, redenomination of the cedi.
Devaluation of the cedi.
Redenomination.
It was devalued.
It was redenomination.
Oh, yeah.
We redenominated the cedi because at the time we were having the same problem.
Yeah. Yes.
And so we redenominated the cedi. We got 1 cedi, $1. And so the cedi was a stronger cedi. Let's not forget, this economy has been rebased countless times.
Yes.
What I say, the rebasing also put us on a different pedestal.
Yes.
All in a bit to control the performance.
We jumped to a place we are not supposed to have
Do
been.
you get the point? So the thing is, the next option you are, from all you are saying, is that we should redenominate again.
We are not redenominating.
But you see, if you don't get the fundamentals right, if you don't get the fundamentals right,
the exchange rate will expose you.
it will still expose you. So, question we must be asking ourselves is, why are we going in this cyclical manner? That we always come back to the same, and it has to do with trade.
It has to do with trade. But the point is that, the point you are not getting is that, me say, you see, dollar no enye yesika. Do we agree to that?
Yes, enye yesika.
Enye yesika. Dollar no enye obisika.
Yes.
And the dollar is with Bank of Ghana, and Bank of Ghana is doing business with business people, in this case, the banks. So if it is known at the bank, say, now the only comfort now is to look for 1,000 Ghana cedis and I say 200 Ghana cedis, you can get only $100 with the expectation that the dollar will increase so that the China you will get a better way. So what we are trying to do is to compound the problems of your economy. And again also, we should not lose sight of what economists or bankers will call capital flight or capital repatriation. The state of Lagos is bigger than the entire Ghanaian economy. And you look how rich Nigeria is. Individuals, not the state. But the Nigerian state is corrupt. Individuals are richer. So if you are one businessman, Bank of Ghana says that not long ago they mentioned about $750 million being pumped into the system. To do what? To do what? Nipa na said you will say, oh Manu, sika so mfanko ye adwuma no. Say nipa no onye adwuma da. What you say? Onim bibia na watam $100 million a man say J. J no be. It's the same situation that we face. The economy is in crisis, is in a mess. Now also the 100 million for friends, or the $750 million air bar bishim.
The beginning and edition more. You'd be cool sector. You'd be several sectors. Andy Meba. What they for $500 million and for $200 million shame. What the shame? What you are telling investors and as what you are telling people is look, me this can be about fancy. That's what they are telling, and that's exactly what is happening. Because people now feel more comfortable getting dollars as against probably working. Was on so $100,000 and there $100,000 and that's a friends at the beginning of the year almost 640,000 Ghana cedis and then 1.something million Ghana cedis. And with the way things are, we'll bet my calculation. I can say, oh, the way things are, the dollar will hit 15 because that's what others are projecting. That by the end of the year, the dollar will be about 15 to the cedi. So, if that was going to be the case, that's a $100,000. By the end of the year, 1.5 million Ghana cedis. All right. And so you keep compounding the problems of the economy, and your engagement with the IMF and all. Of course, the IMF must come in quickly to give a guarantee, because obviously, once you go to the IMF, like we did in 2014. We are just saying, Master, we are incapable, we are incompetent, we cannot run the economy, and so come and take over and manage our house for us. That's all about AMF decisions. Yeah, my mouth 1.5 minutes.
How do
now,
you?
1.5 minutes, I'm the man after the Akam Diamandi. You see, all this are here. Why is it that, from J. John Rawlings' pencil beppement there? All politicians who have campaigned in this country for power have told us, oh, value addition to our raw materials, cocoa, gold, oil, this, that, and yet, till date, we still export our raw materials raw. Why?
What do cocoa count? Okay, okay, cocoa.
Why?
And never with rigs being banned.
Yes.
So the political class in Ghana really don't care about us. Because some say, you be developer of my Ghana. Share. What to cry? You know, you may have done my anti-kakra. Some Kobe or my bit to say Israel. Wouldn't matter more. A real any abo, a real any abo time. Wouldn't mean nante 5 untimi nante a kilometer ewo Israel obeka say ahaye anyanko a. But look at what they have. Ko Dubai, what do they have? Omo awia any gold, any oil. Ghana gold from
Titi.
cocoa, titi, diamond, bauxite, manganese. I say, dear Ben and Yankopon and Fama or my Ghana. Dear, on top of it, 2006 or 2007, and all the oil, the oil bed and a bit piece. Dear, look at on my womb, send your environment city. What you ebia ensuo eda Ghana water for peno na omuma certain communities bi light what we experience from 2009 or 2008 yeah BC 2016 look at what we went through a small country like Ghana there be na Tema oil refinery your oil has say Tema oil refinery look at how it is struggling and talking about this processing of raw materials and everything. You know, I had to say that who's a big say the Casanako. Because certainly you won't do it.
Yeah.
You won't do it. And unfortunately, I'm not telling the Mabawa you walk room her. I said Bionka or more universities more this is the time for them to sit and have a deeper introspection. And ask questions. Say, over the years, look at the resources we have as a nation. Is this where we are supposed to be? How come our country is not developed? How come our roads are still bad? How come we still have areas that do not have electricity? How come hospitals are not in certain places? How come? What is happening? What is happening? It's just a deception. One after the other. That's all that is happening. And you're careful. That's a jigua. Look at Burkina Faso, what is happening there. Yeah. More or less, it is becoming a failed state. Somalia is a failed state. Burkina Faso, with what is happening, is becoming a failed state. Of course, people will talk about foreign, your friends say maneuvering and operations and all of it.
France.
But yes, France is there. Yeah, and they have an interest. Indeed, but countries no more controlling. The moment a natural resources is discovered, the state is always destabilized to pave way for them to loot all those natural resources and take it away. And God will punish them one by one. But the point is that African leaders and Ghanaian leaders must begin to think about the betterment of our people. Right. Think about how we will develop this country, how we will develop Africa. Because Africa is the only country or continent in the world but like I said, every natural resources is in Africa. DR Congo alone, the resources in DR Congo alone can take care of the entire European continent. And yet, you don't be the crab bomb.
Yo, Sammy,
Mr. Kamkam.
On the depreciation of the city, I have listened to some submission and stakeholder consultation by Guta and Asefo. And Sammy, it should also be lost on us. Our economy is also import driven. Well, BBI yakra, and now can say value addition idea. Seminars to be organized, workshops, people will go take tea, they will go to big hotel in the name of workshops. It's all about value addition, how to add value to our natural resources. Like the gold and what have you. But we say now we should communicate asa. So we import everything. Toothpick, cry import it. Abra Ghana, we are blessed with bamboo and stuff that people can just, enter into those ventures and do it. But what is happening? We have salt here. We have salt here. Yet we import alum to treat water. Can you imagine? Ghana Water Company. Salt, no, that chloride now, more the year, and treating issue. No. You will be or go to Songo, just move to all the, we say, buy importing. And people are happy that we are importing those things, huge sums of money. Yes, I agree that as for the political leadership, they failed. And Yahweh can say, listen, and then you say you stop Galamsey. The indigenous Ibia, Omoya Kakra, Moso Moko, Gadam, and say, or Mudidino. And then you say, yes, Galamsey, no, you best stop it. We support it. Yet, and then prominent members of the ruling party are being fingered as those doing the Galamsey. They are those destroying our forests. And Sammy, you think that the youth will be happy? Last 3 weeks, so when you drive through Fosia, Arabia, Chimchia, those areas, this palm plantation in Asefo, oil in Asefo. If you want the people to stop the Galamsey, put up some cottage industry so that their oil will be processed and that will create them job. They don't think about it. And I was alarmed last week when I got to know that the presidency, I saw some cars. I mean, some ministers are also using it. That at the time that the year can say mind more in Iska, we must be disciplined in our expenditure. Toyota Land Cruiser, 70th anniversary. I'm very 70th anniversary. They are using it. In fact, I counted about 10 of it. They are using it. So when you are having a negotiation, yes, 70th anniversary, no more unveiling. They are using it. Of course, individuals can go and buy. A businessman can go and buy. But a state, no. So if you are going to have a negotiation with the Bretton Woods institutions and they see the cars that you people more driving now, would they be happy? So they'll give you measures, very stringent measures. Well, who are you paying? And you see, we are talking about this economy. Something is not being done right. And the finance ministry, I mean, they must sit up. What is it? Me, you're not picking it, say, yeah, Mrs. Say, in Crawford, I say, so, bois, na, manage economy, no. Omunina at Yaquacoda. Mapaba, because, I mean, what is suggestion, qua, there be Omunfa. Now, you see, the point is that the finance minister should know, sir, Yansano, Nibaku for trip. You are the head. You take the credit anyway. Allow people to help you. Take suggestion, take contribution. I don't think, sir, it is out of place for Yera Kenoforiata to call people even from the political divide, industry players, and for them to have a negotiation. Number two, what is his relationship with industry players? And I mean the banks. The bank money, those in financial, what are the relationship? Because Sami sa dollar sema ye kanya, they can help you. They can help you enforce some of your policies. How person we to stabilize the
city. Because I said now can I say all the nam kwanche.
Nam say.
I saw the born in nam friend saying left wing God ma. Fabra middle lane in timi bobi.
So middle lane na mede ba se Ken Oforiata. Ken Oforiata. Kenneth Kuntun Kunuku Oforiata. Untie futu. Intina economy no. Nkrofona initially omoboa no omo nyina ati akwakoda. If you recall that you are Kwame Pienim, he came out to say that no, I mean, it's surprising, say, Harvard training as if what messing up the economy. And meanwhile, these people initially they say, "Oh, muna na mo boa." Na say, you are suffering for Obeng.
Na say,
no, me ba you are suffering for.
Russia Ukraine war,
no, you see, Sami, COVID had its own, we say, impact. Russia Ukraine war, aba. But you can say, when it comes to fiscal policy, I am more. So the Bank of Ghana governor, they deal with monetary policies and stuff. And reliably, they are doing their bit. Who fiscal we say no, and necessary we. They are to money. So my point is that you must make way for people and take suggestions no more. But that you be attitude and the economy abedu and as to whether we'll be getting a deal from the IMF as early as possible, because the attitude is say antimi anya by November ending the any yankope baby na me wa sika nso na money da so you this can am my but sika no ba are they going to use the money for the purpose say be ya economy ni ba gina, and now they are going to use it to buy cars and go to fat workshops o ma konum tea na niema enkoyi. So as for this CD depreciation in ASEFON, we should also be looking at it, Sammy, the import-driven issue. Bibia yekra. Even our gold. See, today we are talking about forex. Even when Ghana will buy beton gold, all those companies. I was talking about capital flight. Who call ton gold? Until I come Nkrumah PMMC 2. And if you go and sell the gold, they pay Bank of Ghana, whatever forex. Then they'll credit your account. Is it happening? No. And who is monitoring? Who is checking the system?
Yeah.
It is sad.
It
is sad. But Sammy, me one in up no. Galamsey. Sammy, tie, Galamsey. Yahimfo no. Politicians no. MPP, NDC. We know that when it comes to Galamsey, MPP, NDC, they can help us solve this menace.
Na nipa na contest election or contest election wa kwatia ewo a friend said denchira baby or contest election as a constituency chairman, organizer and everything no ne bota e ba kwan say party ne ba na say party ne wa ban mu a ubenya access to do Galamsey, because who are you to go and arrest party chairman? Who are you?
Yeah, I think we have been very unfair to Yenana no more. No more Galamsey no. Galamsey, as we know it, is Obi any offensive form and then be a one more use the manual process. Yeah. Ye to form near Prague would you kakra kon and near kudidi. Yeah. Ye use excavator.
No.
Ye use washing plants.
Satam no.
And Mamma me and friend Galamsey. It is not Galamsey.
Satam no. Say no for commercial purposes. And a sebi omo sika. And the bia meka say sebi omo ye Galamsey no. Enti no say the entire population of Galamsey operators no. Omo do aye say. Ya tena ho ama omo asay nso. In fact, ebugina po video bia e ko rada. Standing before chiefs and everybody. Say sebi nananum. Say motumu na yesi fama. Anka nkrofo no ba. Anka omuntimi ni nsehunu no modi no. Banananom omba no mbechia mo. Ombo de snap in niema mo a na maji. Then they go and do whatever they are doing, destroying our forest. So until nananom momwa ehemfonom politicians. So your presidential candidate and a former president now ko jina ba na aka say oba.
Yeah. Asemi ya okay. Otufo an kan kire omo abro mo kon ho mensia. Say yan eti dem ha. Yan eti dem ha. 30% of us.
30%.
And Otufo aka say be minim say one of the say one was say. Yes. Galamsey that's what after Kufuado's after Kufuado. Anyanya me a.
Mommy sorry so why?
Anyanya me anka lose election because of Galamsey. And yet, it's still happening.
Mommy, sorry so. I find a benevolent dictator.
Yes.
And everyone requiring Amamidi. One more enjoy the benevolence of the dictator now. Almost so as a crime who said, Bako, I am a desert no other than say, oh, they play Kokai. Now, why your story didn't DVD to internet now say meow.
I was stranded.